Welcome to the Say It Different podcast. My name is Tyler, and I'm joined every episode with my great friend, Justin Daly. Our hope is to have real, authentic, and helpful conversations about the issues that we're all facing and talking about. Our perspective is going to say it different. Welcome back to the Speakeasy. Back here, we need to name the set.
Yeah.
Every great podcast has a name for the set, whether it's the den, the nest.
Rolling.
The Speakeasy is what we're going to go with until a better name is
I don't like it, but good.
Well, don't just bring a problem, bring a solution.
Well, I would have to have time to brainstorm.
Well,
Whiteboard
it's a spitball session right now. Yeah. See? Not as easy as you think.
No, but you had time to think about it. You came up with Speakeasy.
It just came out last episode. It's not like I had ample.
Well, like fireside chats.
We got to get a fire going in the fireplace, which we have at the Speakeasy because it's a Speakeasy.
What we have a flag. What about colonial conversations?
That's going to probably give some odd connotation that we don't intend to give.
Well, we love America.
We do.
Or what it used to be.
Well, yeah. There's 13 stars on that flag if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah. So it would be colonial.
Fight for independence. We should fight for it again.
Yeah, this episode is taking a turn that I did not intend it to take, but I mean, I'm here for it if that's where the spirit leads.
Yeah.
And today it's apparently a spirit of patriotism.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Well, somebody's got to say it. Say it different, right?
You got to say it different. Yeah. We're living up to the name today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very patriotic day.
Yeah.
A patriot.
If we had a little God Bless the USA or a little Lee Greenwood right now.
Lee Greenwood. Yeah, maybe we can put that in the underlying in the outro or something. So
the lakes of Minnesota.
The
hills of Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't know the lyrics.
Okay.
I don't. I could look them up real quick and go with you on that.
No,
I just know I'll probably stand up next to
you.
You
defend her still today
because there ain't no doubt.
I love this land.
God bless the USA. Yeah,
there we go.
Fly over.
There we go.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Tears, fireworks, explosions,
bald eagles,
patriotism,
shirts coming off, beers getting slammed and chugged. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, that's it. We got to wrap it up.
America.
I have a question. When is the last time you have physically been to a grocery store?
A lot recently. Cavallari's local is a great spot. We're not sponsored, but if they'd like to be, spend a lot of money there.
They'd be a great sponsor.
And Cavallari's weekly. Last time I was in Publix.
That Cavallari's doesn't count because that's more of like it's more like a meat market, like deli, like that. That's kind of.
The last time I was in Publix was Thanksgiving.
Okay, so it's been a couple months.
Yeah, we got a lot of Instacart.
Well, yeah. So low key, one of my favorite things to do is grocery shop.
Really?
I enjoy it. I do.
So domesticated.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
You are
which is what we were singing about earlier. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to do the things that the generation before us did. And so I go grocery shopping. Now there is a rhythm to it. You have to go at the right time.
Yes.
Right. So I kind of view grocery shopping as the city's equivalent to hunting. There's a right time to go, right season. You're searching, tracking the right products.
Yes.
So it's a fun experience for me.
Great.
But
thank you for sharing. I'm sure they were all very interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, now you say that, and I'm questioning if maybe we should have taken a different direction. I just wanted to ask something here.
Yeah. Follow-up question to the grocery shopping, or you just want to share that you were a hunter?
And a gatherer. Yeah. See, if you say that I'm a hunter and gatherer now, I feel manly going to the grocery store on a regular basis.
Yeah, but for sure, pushing your cart.
But here's the thing: Instacart always gets it wrong.
For sure.
So there's that piece because they don't know me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go handle.
And if it's not what you ordered, and their substitutions are never correct.
Never correct. No. Or they'll get the mini version.
Cups.
Yeah.
One time we were together, they brought us mini solo cups. Like, what are we taking shots?
Yeah, I didn't even know they made these.
I didn't either.
Yeah. No, that's true.
A family gathering. I'm playing beer pong.
But yeah, right. Well, this is a family show. Yeah. It's a water pong.
Yeah, page 13.
Yeah. But there is a etiquette at the grocery store. Is there not? Like with the cups.
I'm not familiar.
You were making fun of me. Mm-hmm. And you maybe everybody didn't hear.
I wasn't making fun of you. I was just pointing out the obvious.
Right. But you said something under your breath, pushing my cart. Like it was like, you know that you push a cart at the grocery store.
For sure.
Right.
In the South, we call them buggies.
Buggies.
Yeah. I'm from
now,
Alabama.
Let me just, it's been a while.
Get your buggy.
Let me paint you a picture of the grocery store.
Okay.
There's aisles and there's rows. The rows run long ways. The aisles run short ways.
Okay.
And the aisles are where, right, you've got specific food.
Yep.
And then you got the big long row that makes the perimeter.
Yeah.
Okay. You're pushing your buggy.
Yeah. Buggy.
Or your shopping cart.
Yeah.
Down the aisle.
Yes.
That runs perpendicular to the row.
Great job. Good
When
work.
I just want to paint a picture for you. If you're coming down the aisle, what's your move?
Well, you can't, just like in roads, if they're already on the road you're trying to get on, they have priority.
So what you're saying is that at the end of the aisle, you're going to stop.
Yeah, and look both ways.
And yield into the row.
For sure.
Thank you.
Traffic laws.
As a man that doesn't spend much time in the grocery store, you know the rules of the road, my friend.
Yes.
And I just need a public service announcement because there's lots of
You know,
people
we had
that don't.
COVID and we had signs and arrows. We should have signs.
There's a lot of unsafe buggy
Yield
pushers.
to oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Also, I can't do somebody just leaving their cart right where I'm trying to get to and just like frolicking around the whole aisle.
Now you're tapping. See, this is why we bring it up. Now you're tapping into something. Do you take the cart back to the cart return in the parking lot?
Yes.
Or do you push it into the median where it's out of a parking spot?
No, there's a special place in hell for people that do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What if there's no buggy return?
Take it back inside.
Back inside of the grocery store?
Yeah, do the right thing.
Wow.
Yeah, leave it better than you found it. Be a leader.
America.
Yeah, we lost discipline. We lost discipline and picked up lazy. Yeah.
Man, that I didn't see you being the guy that was pushing. That's
I don't
why
want to
you
stay
don't
on this too long because I'm kind of bored by it. But Publix, why do different Publixes have a different layout? Like if you don't go to your Publix, they put stuff in different spots. Can we have some continuity? Can somebody get into a meeting somewhere, the Publix hierarchy, and have a consistent layout? Because at one point it's over here and then it's over here. It's aisle 8, it's aisle 2. We need to have somebody with some consistency.
Yeah. Well, now you're into a whole other topic that we don't want to get into. So yeah. No,
and groceries are expensive right now too. It's like a second mortgage to go to the grocery store.
It's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not
back
cheap.
to the flag that.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But
it's called inflation.
There's a lot of under the tone comments that
I don't think they're under the tone. I think they're just right at it.
But they're said in a very like we're trailing out way that we got to circle back on.
We do. Yeah. We need to circle back some old values.
This speakeasy's got you really worked up.
Well, it's just such a patriotic theme in here.
Yeah.
I'm too old to fight for our country, so at least I can fight for its values.
Yeah. You could be like Mel Gibson in The Patriot. He was an old man.
God, that Creek scene.
But he came out. He came out of retirement.
Yeah. He said no to double taxation.
Did he ever?
Yes, did he ever? With a tomahawk.
Let's not condone that kind of behavior.
No. To be very clear, we're not talking about killing people.
Yeah.
No. Well,
I wanted to bring something productive. Not that grocery cart etiquette isn't, but
no, I think we help people. If we're 2 for 2, we helped marriages, and now we help sanity. Because there's nothing that you could, if you're in the grocery store, you could lose your sanity in there.
Well, if nothing else, I just needed to get it off my chest. I get worked up sometimes, and I just need to let it out and let the people.
I feel like this could turn into like season 3, just counseling with Pastor Justin.
I don't know. People aren't ready to hear all the stuff that I need help with. That's not something that I don't know.
That is actually the most true statement you've ever said.
No. Yeah. I can't let the guard down that much. Yeah. Yeah. But I did want to talk a little bit, maybe kind of look at the time we have left as like an old school little Bible study. All right. And there's a couple of verses in the book of Lamentations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
I know. It's one of those books that often kind of just gets skipped over, or it's just kind of viewed as being a really heavy book. And rightfully so, it is a heavy book. But I think that there's some verses that have kind of been, personally sticking with me for a couple of weeks here. And I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on them. And so I'm gonna read them in Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 through 24. Famous passage, actually. And here's what it says. It says that...
Hold on real quick. Your eyes are really good. You can read that from there?
Oh, I've got.
That's impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just am shocked.
Yeah,
I can barely even see your computer from here, but you're about to read from there.
If you're just listening, there's a laptop about 4.5 feet away from me.
It's impressive.
And at 42, I'm going to read them without readers, without squinting. Yeah. I've got very strong eyes.
Great.
A lot of carrots.
Yeah.
A lot of carrots. So here's what chapter 3 of Lamentations, verses 22 through 24. Now that we talked about my eyes, I'm a little I'm a little nervous right now. Yeah. So it says this. It says, the faithful love of the Lord never ends. He keeps, and really what that phrase never ends means is that he keeps us from destruction. So the faithful love of the Lord, it never ends. Great is the faithfulness of God. His mercies are new every morning. I say to myself, the Lord is my inheritance. Therefore, I put my hope in him. There's a couple of phrases that have stuck with me, as I said. And the first there is in verse 22. And it's this, it's never ends. The faithful love of the Lord, it never ends. And these are verses that you've taught on. These are verses that you have preached on. These are verses that you have read personally in your life. And I think the first thing that I'll start at is we've joked a lot at the beginning of this episode about America, about values, about things are changing, things are falling apart, or however you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Or say it. And I can't help but notice every man-made institution eventually fails. And that is the problem that everybody is in the absolute middle of right now.
For sure.
And I look at that verse, and when I'm seeing the author of Lamentations use language very specific with the faithful love of God never fails. There's this like paradox there, right? Where I'm in a world that does fail, but I serve a God that never fails, right? Yeah. Like there's something pretty powerful about that.
No, again, we don't talk about any of this before. And I'm reminded of in the Gospels where it talks about building your house on the rock versus your house on sand. So we're promised troubles. We're promised storms. It says the house built on the rock will stand. And the house that built on sand will fall. Yeah. So every man-made institution is going to fall. Yeah. Because the definition of, it's because it lacks integrity. The definition of integrity is that it's solid throughout. So his faithful love endures forever. It also not only endures forever, it also has endured forever too. So like the only thing that's consistent in the universe is God. And so anything built outside of on his principles and on him, the only thing that will stand the test of time is the church, which he established. Yeah. And his presence. Like everything else built on anything else is going to fail. Yeah. Because we're flawed, and therefore we cannot withstand the storm. At a certain point, a storm will take us down if we're not built on the things of God. Yep. Can we, I feel like there's something really, really important with this conversation. And because everything's just so polarizing and charged. For sure. I want to use a safe topic. Yeah. And that's college football. Okay. All right. And maybe this isn't even a safe topic these days. Who knows? But nothing's safe. You'll be college football is changing at the very best. It is deteriorating at the very worst. So things like unregulated NIL, the transfer portal. Yep. You're looking at conference realignment. Yep. All of those things are changing what used to make college football for old school guys special, right? The loyalty of players coming for a program, not a paycheck. Yep. It's changing the rivalries with conference realignment, for sure. Right? It's changing even the way that you coach, recruits, and it's not about a team anymore. It's about what are you going to do for me while I'm here? It's not about instilling values and agree with everything you're saying. So now I will say, because of where college football is, players are overdue and getting paid or benefiting at some point from the money they're making the institution. But sure.
That's not what the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is we can look at something like college football and see a picture of what we're talking about here across the board with the world, right? As more power is gained, as more money is made, the whole thing just gets messed up.
Yeah. Well, if we correlate the two, that as humans, we always try and change things, make things better, evolve. But if we lose the values and the foundation of what made us great or what made us successful, then we're literally eroding the foundation of who we are.
Yeah.
So let's use college football. Things need to change, but because it got so selfish and self-interested, now they changed the very foundation of what it is.
Yeah.
Like it no longer resembles what it used to. So therefore it's a new thing, which is completely different than the old thing.
Yeah.
So as Christians, I think if we can get better, we can challenge, we can question. But when we start eroding the foundation of the gospel or our faith, that's when we get in danger. When we get so self-focused, because what's happening is people are not trying to fight for college football to be better. They're trying to fight for college football to be better for them.
Yeah, right.
So they've lost the sense of what they're building.
Yeah. And
they've said, what about me?
Right.
And anywhere in life, when you say, what about me? And not what about the greater good for quote unquote secular things or about the goodness of God or God's plan, when you take the focus off of the main thing and put it on self, you will always fail.
Yeah. Well, I think like my observations, I'm just a guy like everybody else watching things and trying to make sense of it. But my observations have been that things like college football are deteriorating. Mm-hmm. Things like politics deteriorating.
Yeah.
Things like culture deteriorating.
For sure.
I mean, you name it, the word deteriorating will follow it. And I'm surrounded by that everywhere. And so that is affecting me in ways that these verses just speak so clearly to.
When you don't know the truth, you'll always fall for lies. And when you don't know who you are, you'll be persuaded to whatever the loudest voice, the most shiny object, the most attractive thing. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's what's happening with sports. It's what's happening with values. It's what's happening with politics. Me. I need. What about me? And we've lost sense of what we're building. As an organization, as a country, as an institution in sports, like we're allowing the outside voices, their feelings to dictate now the values of something. And so now we no longer even know who we are as Christians, as leaders, as Americans.
Is it as simple when I look at the Old Testament, every time the people drifted from God, God's cry, the only demand that he had was return to me.
Right.
Return to me.
Yeah.
Return to me. It was never like change this institution or blow this leader and party up and start over.
So if you're a Christian in here, the answer is returning to the things of God.
Yeah.
From a leadership perspective, it's returning to the values that made you great.
Yeah.
Your values and your vision shouldn't change. How you accomplish it should, both as Christians and as leaders. In your organization, you define who you are, why you exist, and that should not be up for negotiation. How you accomplish that should evolve to meet changing needs and perspectives and opinions. But you shouldn't allow people outside of the organization or outside of your life to influence who you are. And the problem is that we've allowed opinions to influence and change the core or the foundation of who we are or what we're building. And that's why we're lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I go to try and please this person, but then I offend this person. And now I'm chasing their approval and their idea and their opinion. And now I'm no longer based on what I was called to build or to grow or to produce. So now I'm spending all the time out here as opposed to just faithfully building business, family, friendship, church, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting, with this is it also says a couple other phrases, those verses. It talks about God's mercies being new every morning, which suggests that we're going to find ourselves in a place where we need that daily, right? The other thing that's kind of interesting with that is it's almost like Jeremiah, who wrote Lamentations, was trying to convince himself, like the context of this passage in chapter 3 is he spent the whole first half, the first 20 verses kind of complaining about like how bad things were,
right,
and how God had abandoned him and how he's getting persecuted for doing the right thing. Like,
right.
I'm God, I'm representing you to everybody, the people, and I'm just getting mocked and ridiculed and made fun of, which we've all probably been there before, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've been trying to do things for God, met with crazy resistance.
For sure.
And being made fun of. And it's like, God, what the heck, man? Like, I'm just doing what you told me to do. And it's not working the way that you said it was going to work.
Yep.
But in this, then he pivots, which is what we just read, those 3 verses. And it's almost like his focus now is being focused on mercy and God's empowerment and not the circumstances, right? So like, you can get focused on the muddy circumstances, or you can get focused on the mercies of God.
Yeah, well, and you see David do this all throughout the Psalms too. It's amazing. Just practically get it out. Like, say it out loud. Like, it's amazing how many Psalms, the first few phrases are lamenting their sadness, their frustration.
Yeah.
But then when you get it out, now it's out there, and either God can heal it and solve it. It's not in here. It's not in here. Jeremiah also says the heart, above all else, is deceitful, which is why a lot of the breakdown in society is happening, because we live based off of our feelings, and our feelings are liars.
Yeah.
But when we get those out and we get them in a journal, we get them in a conversation, we get them in a prayer, now we realize all the crazy things that we were connecting, which Jeremiah is doing, which David did. And now once we get that out, we can allow the Spirit of God to come in,
right,
heal, restore, remind,
right,
and get back to who we are. And so how you feel is not, how you feel cannot be the foundation of who you are.
Yeah. The last phrase there that I think's really cool is he talks about God being his inheritance. That's maybe not as strong of a word as it was in the Old Testament when Jeremiah was writing it, right? Like,
powerful,
right? Yeah. I mean, an inheritance was everything. And this time, I mean, what your father left you was your livelihood. It was everything.
Yeah. There wasn't bank accounts. There wasn't, no, your name, your legacy, and your inheritance was what was going to provide for your future.
And it typically only went to the first child, the firstborn, right? Yeah. So like, it was the weight of that word is so good and so powerful.
Well, as a believer, that should be the beginning and the end.
Right.
Like, you, God, are my inheritance. Like, all that I care about.
Right.
So I don't care about what people think. I don't care about how successful I am. I don't care about, now all of those things will affect us, but if the filter is, God, you are my inheritance, like,
right,
all that I need comes from you, and all that I do is for you. That is a releasing perspective
for sure
to live by.
Yeah. What the note I made thinking about that was, God can never be used up and he can never be destroyed. So like, earthly inheritance eventually will be used up.
For sure.
Or earthly inheritance will eventually be destroyed if it's a house. So, I mean, over time, that thing is going to deteriorate. But because it's God, it's eternal. And there's something really, really powerful to that. But I think that again, as we're watching things feel like they're slipping out of control, it's verses like this that just give me something solid to stand on to kind of wrestle through the emotions, which are valid, and get in the right spot.
Yeah. I mean, to circle back to the beginning of the conversation, we were being funny, but anything that drifts from being built on the foundation of God is going to fail. Yeah. And so I just encourage people as they fight for their families, their relationship with God, their businesses, their purpose. We joked earlier, even their country. If the values shift from God, it's going to fail. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why we're doing things like the podcast, right? Just trying to help people stay focused on the right things. Yeah. So, hey, I think we're out of time for this episode,
We appreciate so much you joining us today. We hope it was helpful. If it was, subscribe. If it was, rate, share.
5-star reviews only.
5 stars and up.
Let us know what you like the title of this room to be.
Yeah.
We'd love your input.
Right now, the speakeasy is in a commanding lead, but
colonial conversations.
We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Well, hey everyone, thanks so much for listening today. Please subscribe for more content, and you can follow us at Say It Different Podcast.